Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be going over the problems in section 3.2. Hopefully you were able to give them a try on your own first, so you probably already have most of these started, I hope, and then this is just to see if you're making some mistakes where those areas were. Okay, so for the first problem, you know, there was two ways that we learned to do this. There was the vertical method and then the horizontal method. I'll show you both quickly because it'll be a good review for the quiz. So for the vertical method, we line up our like terms for each expression. So we have negative 2.1m minus 5, and then we have 3m minus 7. And we're adding these things together. So negative 2.1 plus 3 would get us to positive 0.9m. You could also think about that as, because negative 2.1m plus 3m is the same thing, it doesn't matter how I write it, as 3m minus 2.1m. That might be an easier way to see that 3 minus 2.1 is 9/10 m. And then negative 5 minus 7 is negative 12. So our final expression would be 9/10 m minus 12. If you did it the horizontal way, you rewrite the expression as one big long expression. So I would just write plus 3m minus 7. And now I identify my like terms to combine. So I have negative 2.1m and 3m. So when I do my negative 2.1m plus 3m, I get that same 0.9m. And then we have a negative 5, and it's important to remember to keep that negative in front of the 5. And then also keep this negative that's in front of the 7, because you always keep the sign that's in front of the term with that term. So I'll think about this as a negative 5 minus 7, which equals that negative 12. So then when I combine these two things together, I would write my final answer as 0.9m, because it was positive, and then minus 12, so that was a negative 12. All right, so two different ways to do it. You can pick your poison on that one. All right, I'm going to move on to the next one now. So I'm just going to erase some of this work that's in our way here. So you can use the horizontal or the vertical method when you're finding the difference as well. Finding the difference means subtraction. So we're paying attention to that negative sign right there because that's important. So why don't we try the horizontal method on this one? So I'm going to rewrite my first expression. And then when I subtract this second expression here, whoops. Zoom back in. I don't know why that keeps happening. When I subtract that second expression, I'm subtracting each term in that expression. So when I subtract this expression, I'm subtracting the 2y, and I'm subtracting a negative 9. So I can write that as minus 2y, and then I'm also subtracting a negative 9. So when you subtract a negative, that should jump out to you because subtracting a negative is the same as adding. So I can rewrite this whole thing as 4y plus 3 minus 2y plus 9. And if you've been practicing this, you might be able to just skip straight to the second step by knowing that if you're subtracting an expression, you can just rewrite the expression with the opposite sign. So this had a positive 2y, so you could rewrite it with the opposite sign of a negative. And this had a negative 9, so you could rewrite it with the opposite sign of a positive 9. All right, so now we identify and combine our like terms. So we got y's are some like terms. So we got 4y and a negative 2y. So 4y minus 2y. Let's see if I can make this pen a little skinnier here. 4y minus 2y. If you have 4 of something, you subtract 2 of that same something, you got 2 left over, so that's a 2y. And then 3 plus 9 equals 12. So I could rewrite this final expression fully simplified as 2y plus 12. And I write it as a plus 12 because this is a positive 12. And so that's our answer for that one. Alrighty, let's go over to this next problem.